Welcome everyone to this very special occasion, a national moment of reflection for our late Queen, Elizabeth II. A particular welcome to distinguished guests, including Deputy Lieutenant Vinod Taylor MBE and the Mayor of Luton. My name is Adam Divney. I'm the Service Director for Citizen Engagement for the Council, and it's a great pleasure to be here this evening sharing this time with you all today. Over the next 40 minutes, we'll be listening to reflections and prayers and music from members of our community as we lead to the national moment of reflection when the town hall will go dark and we will stand in silence and remembrance for our Queen. Please do grab a tea light if there are any still going around. You can see them being handed out. And we'd also encourage people to kindly put your phones to silence. Firstly, I would like to welcome Councillor Samira Salim, Mayor of Luton, to officially open this event.
Good evening, everyone. I am very pleased to see you all here as we join the rest of the nation in a moment of reflection for Her Majesty the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II was special to people right across the world. You just need to look at the queues in London the last few days to get a sense for her reach and influence, and just how impacted people are from her passing. It has been the same here in Luton. We all feel sad that the longest reigning monarch in our history is no longer with us. I have been struck by how people from so many different backgrounds in Luton and across the country have come together to mourn the loss and remember what Her Majesty meant to each of us. The Queen had close ties with our town. In 1947, she and Prince Philip spent part of their honeymoon at the Luton Hoo and used to worship at St Mary's Church on many occasions. So many of you would have seen the iconic photo of her opening our central library, and how special this was for all those who were here. I've spoken to many people this week who have shared their wonderful stories of meeting the Queen. In fact, my father Raja met Her Majesty in 1999 when she opened the new terminal at Luton Airport, and he told me how she was really delightful, gracious and courteous, happily posing for a photo with him and even insisting on taking her glasses off before so there was no glare from the flash. I just wanted to say thank you for everything, Your Majesty. You have inspired so many. You've paved the way and broken down barriers for people like me and other women in leadership positions, especially Asian women like myself. You have made the impossible possible. Your sense of duty and service will never be matched. You've inspired me and you've inspired countless others. The country will miss you, Luton will miss you, and I will miss you too. Rest in peace, Your Majesty. God save the King.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We would now like to invite Luton Youth Cantores to perform Psalm 23 to set to music by Howard Goodall.
Shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh
Thank you to Luton Cantorius Choir for that fantastic performance. Next, we are going to hear from Alison Taylor, landlady of the Bricklayers Arms in Hightown, about the time she met the Queen on her visit to Luton in 1999. She will be followed directly by Mark Stambridge, Head of Operations for the East of England Ambulance Service, who will read the poem Philip Came to Me Today by Joanne Boyle.
Hello. I didn't actually meet the Queen, but in 1999 she opened a community centre next door. My staff, customers and the whole of Hightown came out to see her. We stood outside the pub, some standing on chairs to get a good view, taking photos on cameras, not phones in those days. She was about 2 metres from us and created an amazing presence. Her smile was infectious, and her visiting Luton and Hightown meant so much to all of us. The point that she decided to visit our small patch of the town will be forever a memory we will cherish. In the park we have a life-size cardboard Queen always on display and have created some amazing memories celebrating every royal event. The last being the Platinum Jubilee. We had afternoon tea, Jubilee beers, gin, a quiz and even Jubilee bingo. For me, the Queen brought a sense of stability and constant for Luton and the wider country. It didn't matter what was happening in the country, the constant of her reign meant we had some continuity and serenity to our lives as citizens. The dedication she gave over her entire life and 70 years as our monarch is inspirational and awe-inspiring. We will miss you, Your Majesty, but you will forever be in our hearts. Thank you for the memories, Ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. This poem is written by Joanne Boyle and it's entitled Philip Came to Me Today. Philip came to me today and said it was time to go. I looked at him and smiled and whispered that I know. I then turned and looked behind me and seen I was asleep. All my family were around me and I could hear them weep. I gently touched each shoulder with Philip by my side. I then turned away and walked with my angel guide. Philip held my hand as he led the way to a world where kings and queens are monarchs every day. I was given a crown to wear, or halo known by some. The difference is up here that they are worn by everyone. I felt a sense of peace. My reign had seen its end. 70 years I served my country as the people's friend. Thank you for the years, for all your time and love. Now I'm one of two again in our palace up above.
Thank you to Mark and Alison. Next, we are delighted to have Zafar Khan, Chair of Luton Council of Faith, join us. He'll be sharing this evening some reflections on the passing of the Queen. He will then be followed by Councillor Maria Lovell, MBE, reading reflections from the Ghanaian community in Luton, a Commonwealth nation with strong ties to our town. Zafar.
Good evening, friends and colleagues, distinguished guests. It is indeed a time for reflection for all of us. There is a lot that one could talk about regarding Her Majesty late Queen Elizabeth II. But due to time restrictions, I will just say a few words. The long reign of Queen Elizabeth II has left an indelible mark on the ongoing history of this country. Over the past 70 years, She came into Britain as a ruler which was going through a phase of reconstruction, both in social, economic, and cultural sense. And 70 years ago, it was a different Britain. And she leaves this world with a Britain which has changed to a large extent. Today, her legacy, from the perspective of contemporary Britain, is a Britain which by and large is at ease with itself, with what it has become over these past 70 years. Britain today is a tolerant and a society which is confident about its diversity and its current place not only in the community of nations, but how it deals with its current contemporary social and cultural scene. Her Majesty, I believe, was central to all this because she was not visibly seen to be asserting a particular perspective, but she, in a very subtle and sublime way, conveyed a broad message that had a lasting influence. I think there is a great legacy for this nation and all who live here. And I'm sure that King Charles will be very much up to fulfilling that legacy. As a faith council, I speak on behalf of all of the faiths that are members of the Faith Council, extend our deepest and sincerest condolences to King Charles and the royal family. And lastly, but not least, I want to extend thanks to the organizers, the mayor, and other members of the council for organizing this event for all of us to come together and share and reflect on a life that has left a tremendous mark on the way we are today in this country. And I hope that we will all, as citizens of this wonderful country, will live up to the standards and the worldview that Her Majesty late Queen Elizabeth II has left for us. Thank you very much.
Odupone tutu, Obatan Kesi etu. Demi Fredue, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth. A historical moment is upon us as we mourn our cherished sovereign in heartfelt sadness and witness the enormity of grief unfolding. We can't help but also deeply reflect on how much changes has happened in the world in 70 years. That wind of change is historically blowing through as we mourn the mother of a nation and share in a deep sense of personal grief and loss. An end of the Elizabethan era and the accession of His Majesty King Charles III. During her reign, Her Majesty visited every Commonwealth country with the exception of Cameroon and Rwanda, and made several return visits. In Kenya, where she spent part of her honeymoon, a carpet she later donated from her coronation still lies in a church with fond memories. And visiting Ghana, formerly known as Gold Coast, in 1961, the deep relations continued, with Luton Council recently hosting the Ghana Paralympic team in our town for the first time in history as they prepared to participate in the recently held Commonwealth Games. All the community of nations hold special memories of her visits embedded in their rich history. We believe and hope that the deep foundations of the Commonwealth nations, which the Queen so loved and steered to become a community of nations, will remain steadfast and strong in unity as a lasting legacy in honor of our cherished sovereign and mother. As leader of the Commonwealth nations, she sought to bring all countries, faiths, and cultures together as one family in love and deep respect. Here in Luton, our communities is a replica of the Commonwealth community of nations in our diverse, rich cultures and faiths, all living together in harmony. We believe that these strong foundations of the Commonwealth represented in our town will continue long after the passing of our Queen and new reign of the King. I quote Her late Majesty, "In our work and in the way we live, change has become a constant. Managing it has become an expanding discipline, and the way we embrace it defines our future. As dark as death can be, particularly for those suffering with grief, light and life are greater." The year Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, God bless the Queen, God save the King. Medasi.
Thank you, Zafar. Thank you, Maria, Councillor Maria. We're going to change around the agenda ever so slightly because we're slightly early, and I'm delighted, with that in mind, to be able to invite Vinod Taylor, our Deputy Lieutenant, to the table, to the stand, to have a quick poem to share with the crowd. Vinod?
We stand with our nation and all those who are mourning the death of our beloved Queen around the world. We thank God for the Queen's life. Our salutation, adoration, prostrations to her as she has gone ahead of us, showing us the path. May God grant her eternal peace. May her legacies that she has left behind help release the positive energy in our world. Being the Queen, she always sought the well-being of us all. So I recite a short prayer in Sanskrit, which says, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kushchit bhagavat, shanti, shanti, shanti. The English translation, may all sentient beings be at peace. May no one suffer from illness. May all see an experience that is auspicious to them. May no one suffer. Peace, peace, peace be upon you all the creation, and also upon the departed soul of our beloved Queen. Long live the King.
Thank you, Vinod. So we're now just moments away from the national moment of reflection, the minute of reflection for the Queen, where all around the country, people like us will be standing in solidarity and in silence in her memory. The lights will go out shortly. As the clock sounds 8 p.m, at this point we'll invite everyone who is able to stand. Following the moment of silence and the national anthem, we'll hear a final performance from Luton Cantores. Until then, we'll hear a rendition of I Vow Thee, My Country. So we just have a few more moments now till the clock will chime and we will hit our moment and our minutes of reflection. Just before we do, just to remind those with tea lights, feel free to hold them up. Please do try and turn your phones to silent, of course. If you haven't got tea lights and feel like you want to do something, please feel free to use your phone, of course. So we have about 2 minutes now, so you can talk, you can do whatever you feel is appropriate until you hear the bells chime in a few moments' time. Thank you. Thank you all. So we're going to move straight into another performance by Luton Youth Cantoris, which is I Am the Gentle Light.
I am the still small voice.
Thank you for that superb performance, Luton Cantoris. And thank you all so much for everyone who's come to this evening to share this moment together as a town. Thank you to the Mayor, thank you to the Deputy Lieutenant, all of our distinguished guests, our speakers, and all of those who have contributed. We've now come to our end of our time together this evening. For those who are involved in official photographs, please do stay. For everyone else, thank you so much again for joining us and wish you all a peaceful evening. Thank you.